YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. This is going to be an all-purpose gaming review for the 83-inch LG G4 OLED. It's going to be very important that you guys utilize the timestamps. I'm not the best at doing video edits, so my timestamps are going to be what will segregate the different talking points that I'll have within this video. We're going to have some content staged in high dynamic range and some in standard dynamic range. Okay, we're also going to go through some settings, right? All of my bullet points, talking points are going to be articulated down in the timestamps, so feel free to utilize those to get to a space that may entertain you. Okay, I think this TV does a great job in all totality, from watching film, sitcom content, sports, and then the gaming side. I think it does a really good job of everything, but we're going to focus specifically on the gaming aspects of this TV tonight. We're going to get it going right after this intro. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Let's get it going, okay? So first things first, I just want to talk about some things to be considered within this particular TV. Again, this is the 83-inch LG G4 OLED. Now, this TV does run down sizes from 83 to 77. It goes also 65, and then you go 55. All four of those opportunities will get you micro lens array or MLA, okay? There is also a 97-inch of this TV that won't give you that. That's going to be the largest OLED that they do produce, LG being they. Something I want you to think about when you are utilizing this TV in the space of gaming is what type of equipment you have connected to it. My personal opinion, okay, is that to get an optimal experience for this TV, you need a gaming PC from Windows and you need a direct connection, okay? Now, what do I mean? When I say gaming PC, it's obvious. You need something that has an NVIDIA RTX or comparable graphics card that's going to be Windows based to take advantage of features like 144 hertz, to take advantage of features like ultra wide gaming, because this TV, since the C2 LG has been a company that has made it a default option for you to just go into the picture settings and to make it an ultra wide option. Okay, you can only do those two things that I just talked about, 144 hertz and ultra wide, with PC gaming. That's not an opportunity with console gaming as of now, so it doesn't matter if you're more PlayStation or Xbox. It's just not an option as of right now for those particular platforms. Okay, the other piece is going to be what equipment you're using. So in my case, I'm using a Denon receiver to pass through signals for my television. Okay, the biggest opportunity within the receiver is going to be that, as I just said, you're passing through a signal. So when you're talking about features like specific resolutions, ultra wide, which is something we're going to get into, and also when you're talking about like a higher refresh rate, 144 hertz, if the receiver cannot pass through those signals, if it can't broadcast those signals, or however you'd like to articulate it, then guess what? This TV is not going to do it. So you have to ask yourself, when you're jumping over into what some of the features are that may be selling points of this TV, let's make sure that we are utilizing the equipment to get the most out of it. Let's get to this review. Okay, so to demonstrate the talking point that I just had in the prior transition, again, timestamps are going to be important. My video editing skills are not the best. I pretty much just record, talk, and just stop and start. But right now we have the TV directly connected to my receiver. Okay, 120 hertz will be the absolute most that I can get out of this configuration. Now, whether or not there are more receivers that can produce 144 hertz, I'm not sure. You know, the 144 hertz is still kind of a niche like feature for some TVs. Samsung can do it. LG can do it. And there's a couple of other brands that can do it, but it's not something that's going to cater to the masses because, as I said, there's not a lot of hardware that can do it. So running an HDMI source directly from my PC to the receiver, from the receiver to the eARC port on the TV, makes it so that I'm going to max at 120 because that's what the receiver can do. As I said, there's some other features that we're going to be missing are going to be resolution options too. So when we go to Game Optimizer, we'll go down to Picture, We'll scroll down and we'll go to wide aspect ratio. As I said, since the C2, the G2, the 2 series, this has been a feature that LG has put into the TV. You'd have to do custom resolutions for like the C1 and TVs before that. But you got 3 different options here: 16 by 9, 21 by 9, and 32 by 9. My favorite, my personal favorite, is the 21 by 9, specifically the 3840 by 1600. It's a nice, tight, ultra wide resolution that I like to use. So in this instance, again, connected it directly to the receiver. When I switch that, as you see, there's 2 different options it's telling you can get with this: 2560 by 1080 or 3840 by 1600. We want as many pixels as we can get. So from there, I'm going to go down to options, NVIDIA control panel. You have TV resolution, and then you've got PC. When you're on PC, you don't have it as an option. The only opportunity that you have is going to be 2560 by 1600. You got 2560 by 1440, 2560 by 1080. And again, your refresh rates are going to cap at 120 hertz. So again, that's running directly to the dinner receiver, as we can see right here. So let's run it directly to the television, again, from PC to TV, and just see what kind of options we get from there. All right, quick switch of an HDMI, and a quick switch of an input now puts us at HDMI input 4, which now has the PC directly connected to the television instead of the PC being connected to the receiver. And so we'll go to Game Optimizer, and immediately, once we will go to Control Panel first, and we can see immediately that we've got 144 hertz as an option. Let's apply that. Yes, we want that. Now going to Game Optimizer, we can see we have 144 hertz. It's not even an option running through my receiver. We go to Game Optimizer like we did before, and we check some different resolution opportunities. Again, if you want to play an ultra wide, you're going to go ahead and change the wide aspect ratio to 21 by 9. And unlike when it was on the Denon receiver, it does actually change itself to that aspect ratio. Now, my suggestion would always be still to go to NVIDIA control panel. Make sure that you have this on where you want it to be, but it's automatically at the highest, 3840 by 1600 at 144 hertz. So we actually have a widescreen option here, right? For those of you that are not familiar with this, again, if you're coming from playing on console, you get to see more. A lot of these games on PC, virtually all of them are made now with ultra wide functionality. Games like Spider-Man, God of War, Tomb Raider. You're literally seeing more on the screen. Call of Duty, Resident Evil. There's more content to be seen, and there's just more to get out of the TV here. This video is going to be pretty long, okay? So, I wanted to slow up on this one and make sure that I went in depth. We're not going to really focus on ultra wide, but again, inspect what you expect in terms of what equipment you are using with your TV so you can make sure that you're getting the most out of it. Now let's get to some games. Okay, so for the remainder of this video, we're actually going to be focusing on a lot of eye candy, just going through, getting some gameplay. This is being filmed in 4K at 60 frames per second in high dynamic range, okay? How well that'll translate for YouTube, I'm not sure. Just trying to do the best that I can to produce the best quality of content that I can produce for you guys. Also, for the remainder of this video, from this point on, my gaming PC is connected back to the Denon receiver. So we're not worried about things like 144 hertz or ultra wide functionality. If you needed a tutorial, that's what the prior transitions were for, okay? I've done that kind of content on previous LG OLED videos in the past years too also. I always felt like it was a very important feature that we covered doing ultra wide, because it's pretty remarkable that these TVs have that built in as an option from default. So what I want to do now is just transition over to just running some games and some high dynamic range, a couple of different titles, and I just want to offer some talking points about like what I like, what I don't like, Most of everything I've seen that I like, but you know, just some of the things that I feel like may be some opportunities, and maybe this helps anybody that sees this to make a decision on buying this TV. Not sure, but let the games roll. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Resident Evil 4 Remake on PC. Absolute max settings turned up. We're just gonna walk through this beginning sequence. This game isn't brand new, so I believe that, you know, they've tweaked and optimized it as much as they could. .4K native, no deep learning super sample or any type of upscaling techniques. Ray tracing is turned on again. Presets are absolute max settings. So best reflections, things of that sort that can be had are going to be seen here. We're just going to utilize this to go towards this opening sequence. A lot of dark vegetation, some nice shadows. We do have some nice light radiating through. We get some character movement. Again, ray tracing on, so nice light reflections, things of that sort. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to see a little bit of red here. Nice vivid color. Nice punch pop to it. You can certainly dull that out a little bit more if you'd like to. I got my own settings. Looking at my viewfinder, looking at my actual screen, things look to be pretty much a 1-to-1. Not sure how to translate on YouTube, but looks pretty damn good. Would like to try to keep these around 2.5 minutes. Investing a lot of time in this, so please show some support, some likes. Let's have some dialogue. This game looks great, sounds great, is great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Resident Evil 4 Remake. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Tekken 8 here with high dynamic range on, absolute max settings turned up. This timestamp may be a little bit longer because we're gonna let this full match go. We got the computers on ultra high. Nice vivid colors already. Ooh, a lot of pop. If you see HDR as an option, make sure you're watching it with this one. Looks really good in person, really good. Complete max settings, shadow details, everything. Steady 60 frames per second. Wow. Heihachi is about the business. Ooh, about to sweep. Oh, big counter. He didn't do anything with it though. Nice. This might be it. Oh yeah, this is it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Tekken 8. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're running some GTA 5. This game is so old, and God bless it. There's not a lot of features that you can really turn on with it, but you know, still can be very taxing. I have everything turned up, just running a benchmark, just letting this run. I can't wait for 6 to come out. Going to be interested in playing that game. Obviously, probably going to hit the PlayStation console first. But again, I do have everything turned up. I do have an NVIDIA RTX 4090 graphics card on here. I just turned every single feature up to the absolute max with this. Now, I know this game on PC has some outrageous mods that you can turn on. You can download, add to it to give it a new life, but it's still an impressive looking game, you know, especially on this display. You see this frame rate is just kind of all over the place. Like I said, I get every single opportunity within the settings turned up. So some stuff that probably doesn't need to be, but you know, this is one of those no compromise situations. Water, everything looks really good. This will be a very enjoyable experience. I got to bring myself to play this game a little bit more before 6 comes out. No hiccups with like motion or anything like that as it's moving. I always like this part of the bench mark because, you know, it's got some fast-paced action going on here with this plane. Yep. Whites look nice and bright. Vegetation looks good. Oh yeah. Bringing us into that city. Very good benchmark. Get us down to some action on the ground level. This game actually looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. Without like a native ray tracing or anything like that. And I'm letting this benchmark run a little bit more. This is definitely capable of running 4K, 144 hertz or beyond. But again, as I said, turned everything up. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got God of War, the first remake here. This is beautiful. It looks really good. We do have high dynamic range turned on with this title. This is probably going to go beyond that 2-minute and 30-second mark I spoke on when we started this with Resident Evil 4. We just want to go through this sequence right here. Oh, this looks great. The Govee lights add a lot to this, man. For this to be such a dated title, it looks really good. Max settings, you know, custom preset with everything turned on with the reflection plus. I believe that's the name of the one feature. But this looks really good. Kratos' skin tone, he's got that very pale look to him with just the right bit of color. Let's go ahead and take care of this tree. It's hard to say goodbye, I know. Man. Oh yeah, this TV does good. That MLA is kicking in. I've seen enough of this with QD OLEDs over my years. Let's get it done. this looks sensational. Man, I am impressed. This looks very good in person. Damn. Just the shadows off of that tree right to the right of him, man. I feel like I'm really looking at creators' intent.
Get in the boat, boy.
All right, guys, this is God of War. I almost don't want to end it. All right. God of War on PC. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to scale it back without HDR. Batman Arkham Knight. This is the opening sequence, true gameplay scene right here. Joker's burning. I did not believe it when I started playing this game. Now, on PC, this game started off as a crap show. It was not good at all. But they did redeem themselves fixing it. This game tops off at 90 frames per second on PC. They, of course, leave it up to you to burn the Joker.
This is how it happened. This is how the Batman died.
All right, so the opening sequence comes up here.
The usual?
I like this because it's all true gameplay. This is like, you know, real graphics.
No, you know what? Make it waffles. With a side of bacon. Don't tell my wife.
Whatever you say, officer. Oh, and if you want some
Arguably the best game out of the series that they put together.
Next service, waffles with bacon on the side.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt your dinner, Officer Owens. There's a guy smoking over there in the corner booth. Wait here. I'll have a word.
Game looks pretty good. Puts me in the driver's seat a little bit. Go see this guy in this corner booth.
Excuse me, sir. There's no smoking in here.
Definitely get you some lights to accent your experience, man. Takes it to a whole entirely different level. Game is just raw.
Gotham's finest.
Scum.
Man, I wish they could just go back and add to this.
And worse. Not enough good people left to stop.
That red just hit, man. No HDR, but it's not always needed, you know, especially when you got a TV that has the vibrancy, saturation potential for you to add the kind of pop you want with your own settings.
It took just 24 hours for us to lose control of the city. Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
Yeah, that came on real clean. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Batman Arkham Knight. All right, let's take a look at a Street Fighter 6 match. No HDR with this game. This game came out last year. New content steady being added. Let's go. Terry Bogard and Bison. Good confirm. Great confirm. Good pressure. One with the tick throw could have just had a confirmed combo there. This game has a lot of pop to it in terms of colors. You know, every game doesn't need HDR, but corner pressure. All right, let's bring it to an even Steven. Ooh, okay. Terry coming with that pressure. Ooh, nice. One more touch and that's it. Oh, great confirm. That should do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Street Fighter 6 non-HDR on PC. Great showcase. All right, so what I'd really like to do is I'd like to be able to make one full video where I'm doing just a bunch of just gaming clips, all real time being ran off my PC connected directly to the television, the G4. So if you have any titles that you are interested in seeing, please leave them down in the description. And what I'll do is I'll just try to compile a list and just make one big video with maybe 20-30 different clips of games and, you know, just timestamp them all up. But I wanted to keep this particular video down to a shorter runtime so that I can retain a little bit of substance to it. Everything that I've seen on here looked pretty good, man. This TV is just capable of doing a lot. And, you know, one of the most popular questions I get asked is, you know, how much am I missing the QD OLED? It doesn't necessarily have to be the A95L because there's the S95D, there's the S90C, the S95B, and the A95K. So there's a couple of different options out there that I've personally in my possession to experience. But this TV, I'm loving it. There's a lot of things about it that I'm liking. The size is definitely a big contributing factor to my success with this TV so far. But it's still a new relationship, but it's one that I'm enjoying. Of course, this isn't my first rodeo with having a larger LG OLED. My first 77 ever was the C1. And so this is my first time jumping into the 83-inch. As I said, it does have a lot of saturation potential. So even when a game doesn't have features like high dynamic range, you can really go in and you can, you know, turn up the colors, the contrast, and you can figure some things out to make it look how you want it to look. You can add a lot of pop to this thing. You can make it look a little bit more stale, but it does a really good job. Some other features I want you guys to consider is that this does have the Chromecast functionality built into it. So as a gaming platform, if you were buying into like the Meta Quest, maybe the 3, the 3S, the Pro, or whatever other options that they have. Personally, I still have the Oculus Quest 2. you do have the ability to connect with this wirelessly. Now, I'll probably make some content going forward showcasing that. But the cool part of that is, like, if you've got a family like I do, and let's say you want to have a game night and, you just want everybody to take turns using the Oculus, you can have people, the viewers, in your space watching on the screen. So that's built in. You don't need to buy any extra type of hardware. May not seem like such a big thing, but, for people that are maybe into the VR space, they're not really into the consoles or PCs, there's other opportunities where you can get a gaming headset like the Oculus, and you can essentially make it your you can connect this TV docket, essentially, if you would, wirelessly without having a direct connection there. So some cool stuff there. This TV has all the features: the 144 hertz, the 4K resolution, the ultra wide functionality. Again, we talked about this. Try to go direct from the TV or to the TV from your PC source. That's how you're going to get the most out of it. Also, the input latency. Everything going directly to the TV means you're cutting out the middleman. You want to do that as much as you can. We've gotten to the point, though, now we have some receivers like the one that I have that is game ready. So low input latency coming through that too. But it's been an enjoyable experience. Now, I want to leave this up to you guys. If you've got any questions to ask, you feel free to do so. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumb up. Let's have some engagement. And I hope to catch you on the next video. Peace. God bless. And as I always say, max love.